The main shooting that I think that we are going to do was to do education on Syrah.
Okay.
So that will be with Elle. So, but right now we'll be just tasting the wine.
I wanted to do a Syrah tasting because I don't drink them often.
Right.
Because I prefer lighter wine these days. So,
right. But when you were drinking it though, where did it fall into in your like wine drinking habit?
I used to drink quite a lot of Shiraz in South Africa.
Oh yeah.
But since I've been here, less and less. Because I far prefer to drink lighter, more elegant wines. Burgundy, Barolo, Chianti, Etna.
So you just wanted to taste it because you haven't had it for a while?
And to see, what the changes are.
Okay. What I wanted to find out is that the old days in the northern Rhone, the moderate temperature, you usually get that peppery.
Right.
I heard that they're actually losing their character in some areas.
I'm not surprised.
Because it's getting pretty hot.
Yeah.
So we'll see if that's still there.
Yeah.
They call it Rotundum. I learned it from the class.
Cheers.
Cheers. What was your favorite one, Peter?
I didn't really have a favorite because it's not really my style of wine. But number 3.
Number 3 was?
How about you?
My favorite was number 5.
Number 5.
Yeah, number 5 was mine.
Number 5 was my second favorite by one mark.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The number 3 has a little bit of reductive note, doesn't it? The wine looks young.
The wine is very young to look at, yeah.
But in general, what do you think of the quality
of these wines?
Yeah. I try to pick the best representation of each country.
To me, they were good to very good.
Okay. How was number 1?
Number 1 got my lowest score, but it was still a decent score, 88 to 89.
Okay.
It was the oldest looking of the wines.
Right.
And it's a little bit of herbaceousness on it, a bit of steer. The entry was grippy, so a nice tannin, and quite complex. So for that reason, I sort of thought, well, it's better than just entry level. But I didn't know where to go with that. I went to South Africa with that. I ended up with Côte du Rhône.
Côte du Rhône. Okay. Yeah. Number 2 was for me was Côte du Rhône on the nose and the palate.
Okay.
But number 1, I felt like there was something blended it in, and then I know one wine that I picked has Petit Syrah blended in, so I thought they could be that one.
I thought that was, if any of them, that was the last one. I thought.
Yeah. Number 2 was very young, and then it looks very young. I didn't think it was a wine that should be aged, and then only drinking wine. So I thought that was a Côte du Rhône.
It could be.
Yeah.
There was a sweetness to it, but again, 89 to 90, not the best wines in this thing, but very nice.
Okay, it's easy drinking. So
yeah.
Do you think could be Côte du Rhône as well?
South Africa or Côte du Rhône? Well, even Australian, because I was looking for a classic Australian character, and I never found it in here.
What do you look for classic?
There's a sort of super juiciness, particularly on the wines of McLaren Vale. There's a super juiciness. When you get them in a lineup, they usually stick out.
I see.
And it didn't for me.
Okay. We have one from Barossa Valley.
That's why.
That's hotter, right?
That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the Barossa is just power.
Yeah, the power?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 3, you say was your favorite one?
That was my favorite.
Right.
And had lots and lots of power. The powerful wines were 3 and 5.
3 and 5,
for me.
Exactly, yes.
That was my favorite. I would imagine the Barossa to be even warmer than that. That seems to me a little bit better mannered than a Barossa. I don't know. I went for the USA here, 92 to 93.
Well, that's a good score.
It's a good score.
Yeah. I never had South African Shiraz.
Yeah.
So what's their style in
So
general?
South African Shiraz has changed because we've got all new clones now. Back in the old days, they were very peppery and they had a smell of like burnt sugarcane.
Okay.
They were lighter in color, had a smell of burnt sugarcane, but those days are gone.
I see.
And I don't drink enough Shiraz, never mind South African Shiraz anymore.
We have one South African wine from Swartland. And then number 4.
I had 2 Côte du Rhônes in here instead of...
okay.
I knew there was going to be one or more. So I had two Côte d'Ivoire. So I will, instead of calling this Côte d'Ivoire, I will say this is Côte Rôtie or something like that.
Okay. To me, I was pretty sure the number 2 was Côte du Rhône, and then number 4, I thought it has the most elegance to it. It's lightest in color, except number 2 maybe. It's a very pure. The tannin is high, but it's a very fine tannin.
Yeah. But I didn't score it that high, 89 to 90.
89 to 90, okay.
Yeah. The last one was so black, I wondered if you were trying to cheat me with
Mega
with
purple?
Petite Syrah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I was trying to think who else would put Petite Syrah, so this I'm going with the Barossa.
Yeah, it's funny because I found like a little bit of cassis, like more wine that we find in like Cabernet Sauvignon. This one I did find some black pepper in here.
Okay.
It's a very concentrated.
Yeah, this is not for the faint of heart.
Did you know that Australians, they also use Syrah as a cooler climate Syrah wines?
They have some cooler climate areas. Not McLaren Vale, obviously, and not Langhorne Creek, and not Barossa, but in the Yarra Valley.
Okay.
They make some up in the north where it's Pinot Noir country, up the top of the Yarra on the river. They make some cool climate, very peppery.
Okay.
And then, of course, in New Zealand, on the Gimlet Gravels, lots of very peppery cold climate. And also in Switzerland.
Switzerland too. Okay.
Switzerland makes beautiful Syrah.
Alright, let's reveal it. L, number 1. I thought it could be possibly Napa, but number 1 is there's a Schaefer Napa.
Wow.
Yeah. 76% Syrah, 24% Petite Syrah, 30 months in 100% new 60-gallon French oak barrel. The price was 87.
You was robbed.
Yeah. Yeah, at least I got it right as a Napa wine.
Yeah, but it's really not really good.
Yeah.
What did you score it?
I didn't score it.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I didn't score. I only scored the last one, number 5, as my 99 point. Because it's really beautiful. I really like it. You should try it, El. And number 2, I was pretty sure it was Côte du Rhône.
Okay.
And then you said it could be also. So number 2 is Côte du
Was the
Rhône.
Côte du
Yeah.
Rhône, okay.
JL Shop Selection. Mon Cœur. So that's my heart. That's what it meant.
Mon Cœur,
Yeah. 2023. 15% alcohol. That was $21.
Yeah, it catches in the throat. And that's vintage 23. Okay.
2023.
Yeah.
It looked young, they showed. Number 3, I went back and forth. That was your favorite wine.
Yeah.
Initially, I thought it was Australian Shiraz. And then there was your 92 to 93 is actually
That is
Cornas.
Cornas,
Oh, okay. 13.5% alcohol. Domaine Auguste Clap.
August Clap.
Yeah, it's one of the top producer in that
It is
area.
indeed.
It's $120, 100% Syrah, vine age 4 years up to 30 years. So it's a younger vine compared to their flagship wine, so a type of granite. Age 22 months in 6 to 12 hectoliter Foudre. The winemaker Olivier and then Pierre-Marie Clap, and then Pierre-Marie, the father, passed away June 2025. He died at 74 of cancer. Number 4, to me, was the lightest color. I thought that could be South African wine.
I thought it was the Côte Rôtie.
Côte Rôtie.
I didn't like it.
You didn't like it?
particularly.
Okay, 89 to 90
Yeah.
is the South African wine.
That was originally what I had it at
Yeah?
because there's a sweetness to it.
Okay.
Who did it? Porcelainberg.
Porcelainberg.
13.5.
That's a 90 actually.
yeah,
100% Syrah. Organically farmed. Your peer, Tim Atkins, MW, gave 99 points.
I was in South Africa recently. I tasted this wine. This is the only wine that they make. It's the only wine that they make, and I was not impressed with it.
Okay.
I love the label.
Yeah, well, it's hard to read though, but it's pretty. The last one then, that was my favorite one, What are we missing? Oh, the Australian wine.
Australian,
Oh.
so-
Alright, so this one is Penfords RWT Bin 798, and the RWT stand for Red Wine Making Trial. This one's most expensive one, 150. Maturation 16 months in French oak, 64% new, and then 36% of 1 year old. Again, your peer MW Andrew Carriard
Yeah.
gave 99 points. Jensen and Robinson gave 18 points.
18. That's
18.
90.
That's 90. Okay.
She and me, we agree. No, I scored 91.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very good wine. 99
It's a very good
points.
wine,
Give
yeah.
me a break. I've been drinking wine my whole life. I know both of those guys, Tim Atkins and Andrew Carriard well. Just remember Andrew Carriard. He is in Australia.
He is, yeah.
Yeah. Tim Atkins is in Brit, but Andrew Carriard's in Australia. So.
Okay. So, yeah. So we'll move on to the educational class with L. Just basically in general where Syrah fits into your wine life to begin with. Your turn, L.
Give me a mic.
Okay.
For me, the Côte du Rhône is pretty damn good. These other ones are outrageously overpriced. Outrageously overpriced.